that's why people are so identified with their culture and why they need a culture. You know, like the terror management theorist types, they kind of think of culture as a mechanism that inhibits anxiety, and they think about it psychologically, like it's something inside your head, let's say, and it gives meaning to events and stops you from collapsing into chaos and protects you from death anxiety. But that's not right. It's sort of right, but that isn't what your culture is. Your culture is a set of value-laden presuppositions that you orient yourself in the world that match the set of value-laden presuppositions that everyone in your culture has and acts out. And so what that means is that when you believe something and you're among your own people, you believe something implicitly. It's the way you look at the world, it's the way you act things out. You act them out, everyone expects you to act them out, they're happy about it in fact, so there's a match between what you're doing, what you see and what you're doing, and what other people expect. And it's that match that regulates your emotions. It's not the belief system, it's the match. And so part of the reason that people are so tied to their cultural identity is because their cultural identity regulates their emotions. And in a profound way, like this is no joke, you know, I mean, one of the things that stabilizes human nervous systems is, well, imagine that you have a domain of competence. There's many domains of competence, and of course in some of those domains you're completely incompetent, but they may not matter because you don't go into that domain. So you have some area of specialization which you might think of as your sub-tribe, you know, your university students, and so some of you are lower status by the rules of the university game, and some of you are higher status by the rules of the university game, by the tribe. And so the higher status people tend to be the ones who fit into the academic environment, you know, and find it conducive to their mode of being, and who also do well, and their serotonin levels rise. And you know, the neurochemicals that moderate mood particularly are serotonergic. It's serotonin, it's lots of other things, it's an oversimplification, but that'll do for now. As you become dominant in a hierarchy, your serotonin levels rise, and what that means is that happy things make you happier and sad things make you less sad. It tunes your nervous system. So if you're down at the bottom of the hierarchy and you're failing, it's like, hey, hardly anything makes you happy and everything makes you nervous, and it's no wonder because it's not very good down there. So the societal structure, which is an elaborated dominance hierarchy, regulates your emotions because of the match between your expectations and the behaviors of the people within that structure, and then your position within the hierarchy regulates the ratio, let's say, and the intensity between positive and negative emotion. So you mess with people's status at your peril and you disrupt their culture, they don't like that, and no wonder, because when it's disrupted they fall into chaos. And chaos isn't just anxiety. I mean, anxiety is bad enough, but it's not just anxiety, because when you fall into chaos, when things fall apart for you, of course you're uncertain and anxious because you don't know what the hell is going on, and you don't know where you are, and you don't know what to do. That's anxiety provoking, and maybe you can't even understand your past properly anymore. That, as I said, that happens when people get betrayed. And so you fall into this state where nothing is certain. The way you construe the world isn't certain, and even the way the world is no longer certain, because you don't know how to act, or your actions aren't working, and so the world is presenting itself as something that's chaotic. It's not just psychological. The chaos is a weird intermingling of the chaotic world and the chaotic self.